What's going on, everybody? I'm Fearless, and today we are making a Detroit trap beat for Icewear Vezzo. The beats that he gets on are absolutely saucy and bouncy, and they're so much fun to make. So I'm going to show you guys all the little secret steps that you can take to make them perfectly every single time. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. For this melody, we're going to start off with an eerie pad. So I have this opened up right now in Scorch. It's one of the synth pads called Galactica. And we're going to come up with some basic chords. Perfect. That's starting to sound dark and eerie. That's exactly what we're going for. Let's actually add a couple more octaves just to juice and fatten this bad boy up. And for this melody, we're going to be using B minor. I would recommend a minor scale. That's going to help you get some of those darker vibes for these melodies. Let's jump in. I want to find another pad that can kind of complement this one as well. I'm going to copy this MIDI down here. And I want to use a plugin that I don't hear talked about enough. I think it's very underrated. And that is Heat Up 3. I've had Heat Up 3 for quite a while, but I was using it the other day, and I couldn't believe that almost every single preset is fire, fam. I'm telling you, if you don't have Heat Up 3, highly consider this one because all of the presets are absolute sauce. I found this choir right here called Soft Ooh, and I think this would be a dope pad to complement our other one. That sounds dark. Let's hear what they both sound like together now. Yup. Let's go. What I want to do is I'm actually going to group these together so that we can control them together. What I want to do is let's pan one of them to the left a little bit and the other one to the right a little bit so they can kind of fill up the area a little bit better. It's important for you at home to make sure you find some good pad sounds that you like because this is pretty much all we need to make a melody. We're going to find some other instruments to accent it here or there, but if it sounds good at this stage, all you got to do is throw some badass Detroit drums on there, and it's a wrap. Next thing we're going to do is grab one of those classic bell sounds that you hear in Detroit-style beats. We're going to take a crack into this Detroit Sounds of the Era drum kit. This is our new drum kit, but we're going to talk about this a little more later. This has everything for Detroit-type beats, and we got some bells in here that'll work perfectly. Right there, baby. Now, what I want to do with these bells is we're going to follow the B note, and then maybe we'll have it go up to a G or an F, or we'll see what works after that. Boom, melody's done. No, honestly, it could be done here, but we're going to add a couple little things in here. In fact, what I want to try to do is sprinkle in some of those vocals from Arcade. I can't stop using Arcade. It's so good for vocals. So this is the preset I picked out, and I love the distant voices line because there's a lot of really like dark sounding vocals with the reverbs, and I think it'll fit in really great with what we have here. But guys, do not sleep on these right here. After you get your vocals down, make sure you play with these because these go absolutely crazy. And what I'm doing is I'm just going one note at a time and finding my favorite little vocal phrase that it's saying and then trying out the other ones to make sure it's the best. And this is what I came up with ultimately. And yeah, like I said, make sure to try these out because listen how good this sounds. Once again, we're going to go back to heat up 3 for this one. I mean, the bells sound so high quality. Check this out. Let's throw a little extra reverb on this bad boy. So let's go ahead and jump into these drums, and we're going to be using the Sounds of the Era Detroit drum kit. And this is a new line of drum kits that I'm making where I take a certain genre or style of beats and I put all of the sounds that you need to make that beat. When I think about Detroit beats, I think about zaps, basses, triangles, and DJ scratches. And that doesn't even scratch the surface of what's in this drum kit. But let's go ahead and start building out these drums. One thing that works really well in these kind of beats is if you have 2 different snares, we'll have it switch on the 4th bar. So let's go ahead and find another snare here. Let's try this one. And another thing is they'll put a triangle or an open hat that hits on the snare when it switches up like that. We can literally just copy up this MIDI here. In fact, let's try to switch these snares around. It might sound better like that. And there's literally 13 different triangle sounds. We gotta find the best one. Ooh, maybe this one right here. Yes. All right, I want to use this scratch sound. And we're going to use that at like the end of the 4 or 8 bars here. Let's try this out. So we'll just throw it in like right here. Yeah. And we gotta put the bionic bark in here. It wouldn't be an Icewear Vezzo beat without that. That one right there. We also got to get a zap in here. Let's try this one. And if you guys want to check out this kit, we're going to make it 50% off for the next 3 days. You just have to use the code that's on the screen right here. It's Detroit in all caps. So use that in the next 3 days and you can get it 50% off. And this kit is already super cheap. Next thing I want to do is put a crash right here at the beginning of each 4 bars. And honestly, let's shorten this down a little bit here. And what we can do is we can take this and pull it in a little bit, just like this. All right, let's get into the 808, or should I say the bass. So we're going to go into the basses section here, and let's find one of these to use. Yeah, let's use this one. We are using a bit of our bass here. I just went ahead and turned it up 5 just to make that bass a little bit fatter. Okay, next thing I did is I took this return track right here, and we have our 808 routed Foley to it. And on here, I put a little bit of distortion from this plugin called Dirt. Just use whatever distortion you like best, just to give it a little more grit. And what I did is I boosted 7 dBs into the clipper, and then we're doing -7 on the output, and it's a soft clipper, just to give it some soft clip distortion sort of feeling. And yeah, this is what it's sounding like with that. Definitely try out this method at home. You can get some crazy results doing this. I love using it just to thicken up bass sounds or add a little distortion on the top end and just make it fit into the beat. And then what you can do is you can adjust the volume over here on how much you really want. You can almost use that like a dry wet. Let's get this kick in here. All right, let's get an arrangement going. Nothing crazy here. We're just going to copy this over to the beginning. And then the only thing we're really going to be changing up is this melody. So at the beginning, we'll just have these pads playing. Remember, I said the pads should sound good as they are. That's very important. And then maybe we have the bells come in right after, and then maybe the Vox after that. In fact, let's actually pull this over. I'm going to have just the pads play for 16 bars here, and then we'll bring these back in as well. And then we'll have it play the pad on the outro with the last 2. You can go ahead and take things in, bring them out, do all that craziness. There is no set standards for what you got to do for these kind of beats. This is pretty much good to go. We could do a little intro or a little outro, or you could just let it drop in like we're going to do. So, all right, guys, we're going to take a listen to the final beat on the outro, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching this one all the way to the end. I really appreciate you guys. If you're liking the video, please slap a like on there. It helps the video so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, leave a comment. How do you like this beat? And do you want to see anything similar like this in the future? Besides that, don't forget that this code ends in 3 days. So if you want to take advantage of it, do it now before it's gone forever. That's pretty much it, fam. Let's get into the final beat.